Now let me just give you some more idea of your Panorama virtual appliance. I think we have already seen the capacity of these virtual appliance, right? So your Panorama virtual appliance is available. It supports around 10,000 log per second. The supported mode of operation as of version 9 point version onwards. So the thing is, guys, Panorama virtual appliance or hardware appliance, you can able to run into multiple modes. The first mode, or let me just go through from here. So you will get some idea of modes as well. Okay. So guys, Palo Alto Panorama supports 4 type of modes. The first mode, which is legacy mode. This is a pretty old one. Nowadays, people are not using Panorama in legacy mode. If you want to run a Panorama in legacy mode, for that you need a minimum resource requirement, which is you just need a 1 core of CPU and 1 GB of RAM. That's it. And this mode is available for your VM Panorama only. Okay, if I have a Panorama with the 8 CPUs and 16 GB of RAM, in that case, I can able to run Panorama in panoramic mode. And I can switch the mode of my device from legacy to Panorama if I met the minimum resource requirement. From Panorama mode, I can go into the management only mode. For the management only mode, the minimum resource requirement is 4 virtual CPUs and 8 GB of RAM. I just need a 4 CPU and 8 GB of RAM. And if I'm running my Panorama in this mode, then it's a management only mode. I can run my Panorama in logger mode. For that, I need a Panorama with 8 CPUs and 16 GB of RAM. And guys, from legacy mode, I can switch to Panorama mode and management only mode directly if only the condition is minimum resource requirement. If I'm able to satisfy these minimum resource requirement, I can able to change the mode legacy to management or legacy to Panorama. I can switch between Panorama and legacy mode, Panorama and management mode also if minimum resource requirement is we are meeting the minimum resource requirement. But from Panorama, we cannot able to switch to legacy mode. That support is not there. Even you will meet the minimum resource requirement. That is not possible. Management to legacy mode, you cannot able to go because this mode is not supported. It was a very, very old mode, basically. Okay. Now, if you are running Panorama in panoramic mode, you can switch to log collector mode as well. And from log collector mode, you can switch back to panorama mode. But from log collector mode, you cannot able to go into this management mode. And from management mode, you cannot able to go into the logger mode. Even though from legacy mode, you cannot able to go into the log collector mode. So these things you have to remember. These are the 4 operational mode of your Palo Alto Panorama device. Now, let's go here. So your virtual machine or your Panorama virtual appliance, your Panorama virtual appliance, it has started support for all the modes, which is your Panorama mode, management mode, and log collector mode, version 9.0 onwards. Okay. Panorama virtual appliance can be installed on Alibaba Cloud. So if you want to install this Panorama virtual appliance on the cloud, you can able to install on Alibaba Cloud. You can able to install on AWS. You can also able to install this Panorama in AWS government cloud. This is the special cloud designed for government peoples or a government projects where your government used to host their servers. You can able to deploy Panorama in Azure, in Google Cloud platforms, in KVM environment. You can also deploy it on hypervisor, Oracle, Cloud Infrastructure, VMware EXI Server, and VMware Cloud Air. So these are the some cloud platforms where you can able to deploy the Panorama virtual appliance. Panorama virtual appliance supported 4 type of deployment modes. So guys, in Panorama virtual appliance, it has started the support for Panorama mode PanOS version 8.0 onwards. Before that, we have to run the Panorama in legacy mode. Legacy mode, only virtual appliance. So guys, this legacy mode is available only for virtual appliance. This mode is not available for your M series devices. For physical devices, this mode is not available. We can able to run our Panorama virtual appliance in management only mode. At that mode is started, and it has started support for this mode 8.1 plus version onwards. We can able to run this Panorama virtual appliance in log collector mode from PanOS 8.0 onwards. Panorama supported below mentioned VM hypervisors means you will get the Panorama virtual image for VMware, EXI, NSX, KVM, Hyper-V, OpenStack, Citrix, SDX, and Nutanix. For all these type of virtual platforms, you can able to run your Panorama. Okay, now let me just move further. Panorama appliance for public cloud environments or Panorama in public means we can also able to run our Panorama into the some public environment like in your Google Cloud. And guys, whenever we will deploy this Panorama virtual appliance into your public cloud like AWS, Azure, GCP, these are the 3 main players, right? If you will deploy your Panorama into these clouds, what you can do able to do, you can able to manage both type of firewalls. The physical appliance or the virtual appliance means you can able to manage your on-prem firewalls which you have in your data center and your branches, and you can also able to manage the devices, the Palo Alto virtual appliance which you have into the public cloud environments, like you have deployed some Palo Alto on Azure or AWS or GCP. You can also able to do the management for them. You can also deploy your Panorama in Panorama mode or either in dedicated log collector mode in these particular cloud environments. Means both type of mode is available. Panoramic mode, management mode, and log collector mode means all 3 types of mode is available. Panorama virtual appliance and the virtual dedicated log collector are supported on public cloud offerings, means they will offer Panorama virtual appliance in the cloud can manage firewall inside and outside the cloud, means you can able to, you just need a connectivity. That's it. Guys, tell me one thing. There is one question asked by one of the interviewer. What I have done, I have some on-prem firewalls, like I have around here 200 sites. So I have around 400 firewalls on-prem, and I have around 100 firewalls in cloud, and I have basically deployed one Panorama VM on this particular cloud environment. Okay, now so now this Panorama which I have deployed into this cloud environment can able to manage all the devices which we have in your cloud environment. And also it can able to manage your 400 firewall which we have into your data center and your branch office. Now tell me one thing. What is the how you will basically make the connectivity from this panorama till your on-prem firewall? What is the method you will use? The first one is VPN. Yeah, IPsec VPN we can able to enable. What is the other method we can use? So I got a good answer from Praveen. Direct connect, DX. Guys, because here we have a 400 firewalls, right? Sometimes your VPN connection is slow. Sometimes they are not stable, right? So what we can go with the direct connect or express route kind of configuration means they will connect your panorama with your on-prem firewalls directly with the help of DX. They will connect some of your data center device there, and from this data center devices, they will able to this panorama able to connect with all your firewalls through the MPLS connection. Because we have to push the configuration, right? And we have to push this configuration in within some timeout sometimes, right? So which method we will prefer? We will prefer the direct connect or express route of method. Who is working with these cloud environments, they are aware about these methods. Okay, so this type of questions is asked by the interviewer in the interview. So just remember. Okay, now let's go here. So guys, now let me tell you one thing. Let's suppose if you have decided to manage the 5,000 devices, 5,000 firewalls. Let me give you one company name. Let's suppose you are working for Rakuten or any organization who is dealing with these 5G projects. Let's suppose they have done the deployment of Palo Alto firewalls into the cloud environment, and they have decided to put these particular 500 this particular panorama also they have deployed into the cloud environment. In these kind of scenarios, maybe you have to deploy the panorama virtual appliance into the cloud environment, or maybe because they are dealing with the 5G projects and all, maybe they have more than 4,000 firewalls across the globe. In that case, what you have to deploy your panorama with the 50 core of CPU and 120 GB of RAM to manage up to 5,000 firewalls. Just remember. And here we will run the panorama in management mode only. Now, guys, let me just tell you one thing here. If you will go here into this management interface, I hope my screen is visible to everyone, guys, properly. Or let me just go into this interface. Enable this interface. Now, if you will see into this interface, I have this option, device management. So guys, if you just want to manage the devices, which means if you want to manage your Palo Alto firewalls, means you want to just manage the configuration of these devices. Means you want to configure the security policy, you want to configure the routing, right? Means if you want to control these things, configuration of your device tab, configuration of your network tab, configuration of your object tab, and configuration of your policies. In that case, what we have to deploy, or we have to select this device management option. If you want a log as well on this particular interface, means in that case you have to configure the interface with the device log collection mode as well. If you have a deployed some dedicated log collectors, in that case you have to select this option. Means here you will do the communication with the dedicated log collector groups. And if you want to forward these logs to the syslog servers, you have to select that option. The last option, which is device deployment. Device deployment means this deals with your software updates and your dynamic updates and your license update. These three things we will do if we will select that option. Otherwise, we will not able to control. Okay, so just remember this thing. So, which means if we have deployed our Panorama in management mode, just remember, if I have deployed my Panorama in management only mode, in that case, I can able to do the device management. I can able to do the device deployment. That's it. These two tasks I can able to do. If I have deployed my Panorama in Panorama mode, which means I can able to do the device management. I can able to do the device log collection as well. I can able to use as a device deployment. And guys, I can also able to do the I can also able to manage my log collector communication. And this log collector communication is also available in management only mode as well. Means we can just do the management of your log collectors, dedicated log collectors. If we have deployed our Panorama in log collector mode dedicatedly, in that case, that time you will not get the CLI of that Panorama. So you will not get the GUI access of your Panorama, only CLI access is available. And it will, you are only using that Panorama just for collecting the log, that's it. Okay, so these are the some points which you have to remember. And each interface we have to define some role. What is the role of that interface? Okay, now let's discuss Panorama operation mode. So in your physical appliance, we can run Panorama in Panorama mode, log collector mode, or management mode. These are the three modes which is available for your physical appliance. Virtual appliance support all these four modes. Now, if you want to check the modes, guys, what you can just simply run this simple command in your Panorama operational mode, and it will tell you what is the Panorama mode right now. Right now, I'm running Panorama in management mode. And if you want to if you want to change the mode, what you have to do, you can just shut down the Panorama. Just shut down your Panorama and configure the minimum resource requirement. Change the mode of your Panorama. Configure the minimum resource requirement which you need for Panorama mode. And after that, you can run this command system request system. I am not going to run this command, but let me just tell you request system mode. Request system mode. What Panorama? And if you will enter this, it will basically convert the mode. Here, guys, why I'm not getting that command? Just tell me one thing. Why, if when I have run this command, I am only getting the mode to convert this Panorama into Panorama mode? Why I'm not getting to convert this Panorama into log collector mode? What is the reason? So the reason is simple. Are we able to switch from management mode to the log collector mode? No. Right? We cannot able to go from management mode to log collector mode. So that's why that command is also not available. Okay, so just these are the some few things, guys, which you have to remember, and these are the things which generally ask in the interviews basically. Okay, cool. So I will explain you how we can change the mode and everything. Okay, don't worry. Today just a first class. Okay. System mode means in which mode we are running this Panorama. System mode or operational mode, both are the same thing. Okay. Means we are running this Panorama system in which mode? Okay. Or this Panorama, what is the Panorama operational mode, right? Both are the same thing, Raghu. Cool. Okay. If let's say we are running Panorama in legacy mode, generally I will not explain much things for legacy mode because right now no one is using this mode. RAM is 1 GB, CPU is 1. We need around 81 GB of disk and we need around 2 TB of storage if we want to run this Panorama in legacy mode. Okay. Now, supported mode for Panorama virtual appliance. Deploying EXI means if we have deployed our Panorama in ESXi environment, that time only we can able to run Panorama in legacy mode. Receives and stores firewall logs without using a local log collectors. Means it will just store the logs without using a local log collectors. By default, one disk partition will be used for all data and approximately 11 GB used for the log storage. Means we don't have a much log storage capacity. And additional up to 8 TB hard disk is also supported EXI 5.5 version onwards. Earlier EXI version supported up to 2 TB storage only. More than 8 TB log storage is supported using network file system. Now here we can able to configure the NFS data store if we are running on ESXi environment. Expansion of an existing disk is not supported. We cannot able to expand the existing disk, guys. When deployed in HA, both the Panorama receive logs by default. Can manage log collectors but cannot be a part of log collection groups. Means we can able to manage the log collectors in this mode, but it cannot be a part of that particular mode. Minimum resource requirement 1 GB. So we have already discussed these things. Now, Panorama running in Panorama mode, then what are the things? So this Panorama mode support is started from 8. OS 8.0 version onwards. We can run Panorama mode on virtual appliance and your M series physical appliance. Okay. From Panorama mode, we can convert to log collector mode and also we can able to convert to management only mode. The appliance functions as a Panorama management service to manage the firewalls and dedicated log collectors. Means we can able to manage the firewalls and we can also able to manage the dedicated log collectors. The appliance also supports a local log storage to aggregate the firewall logs. Means it can also able to receive the logs. Panorama mode is the default mode. So by default, guys, whenever you will get your M series devices, in which mode they will come? They will come with the Panorama mode. You need a 16 GB of RAM. You need around 8 CPUs. You need around 81 GB of cloning disk and you need a 2 TB of SSD. These are the minimum resource requirement to run a Panorama in Panorama mode. Supports up to 24 TB of log storage with 1 to 12 virtual disk. It can support around 1 to 12 disk, guys. Means you can put a 2 TB disk, 2 to TB disk, which is 12 disk you can put as a size of 2 TB disk. Means it will support around 24 TB of capacity. Addition of multiple disk is supported without losing existing logs. Expansion of existing disk is supported without losing the logs. Means you can also able to expand. Means let's say you just have a 1 GB 1 TB of disk and you want to replace with 2 TB. You can able to do that without losing your logs. Panorama running in management only mode. Now let's try to understand this. The Panorama appliance is a dedicated management appliance for your managed devices and dedicated log collector. Means We can only able to manage your firewall devices, or we can able to manage your dedicated log collectors. So these are the two types of devices I can able to manage. Even though I can also able to manage WF500 devices, but I am not putting these names, okay? Because every organization, you will not find this device, okay? Panorama appliance has no log collection capabilities except for the config and system logs, guys. It can able to get the config and system logs, but it cannot able to get your traffic logs, your threat logs. Means if I will go here into the firewall, into monitor tab, if I'm running Panorama in management mode only, it will get these logs, system logs, configuration logs. But traffic logs is not, we cannot able to send. Threats log we cannot able to send. Your URL filtering logs we cannot able to send. These logs we are not able to send. So just remember these things, guys. Okay. By default, the Panorama appliance in management only mode has only one disk partition for all data. So all logs forwarded to a Panorama virtual appliance in management only mode are dropped. Why? It will drop the logs. This is the reason. What it will do, because it just have a single disk partition. It just have a single disk partition. Therefore, to store the log data from your managed application, it will drop everything, all the logs. If your file will start forwarding these logs to this device, it will drop. Okay. Starting from PAN-OS 8.1 onwards, Panorama VM and M series appliance started supported a new mode called management only mode. Means this mode support is available if you are running PAN-OS version 8.1 or above. Does not participate in log collection, needs all the existing firewalls to be part of log collector groups, and send logs before converting to the management only modes. Logging related daemons like, so guys, the daemons which will take care of your logging related task, your BLD manager, Elasticsearch is not started on that particular device, because if there is an issue with your logging related stuff, we have to check the logs of this BLD manager, Elasticsearch and all. And I am going to cover these things in detail. If I will run this command, so system software status, you will see these particular daemons. ES monitor, right? And right now I'm running this Panorama in this mode, so that's why you can see I don't have any process for these daemons, right? I don't have any BLD daemons is in running state, because these daemons is not started on this particular device. Okay, so just you have to remember these things, guys. And let me just see if I can able to find anything pattern. BLDMGR. See, it has initiated the process, but somehow that process is not started, right? So this is the daemon where we can generally use to verify these logs. But you can see this is the very, very old log, right? This is the time when it has just initiated this process, otherwise it has not started. I have run the log, I have run the debug on my master D daemon. I am just checking the master d.log file, because this is the daemon who will initiate all the other daemons basically. So don't worry, guys, these are the things which I'm going to cover in details. RAM, you need 8 GB, you need 4 core of CPU, cloning disk is 81 GB and storage disk is 2 TB. This is the size which you have to decide. And if you are running Panorama in log collector mode, the main function of that particular Panorama appliance is to collect the log. If multiple firewall forward the large volume of logs data, an M series appliance in a log collector mode provides increased scale and performance. Means whenever guys we will run a M series devices, any device from M series as a dedicated log collector, you can see it has a, it can able to receive the logs from high logging rate, right? We have seen, we have checked that part basically. In this mode, the appliance does not have a web interface. Guys, if you are running your Panorama in log collector mode, you will not get the GUI access for administrative access. It has only a command line interface. However, you can manage the appliance using the web interface of your Panorama management server. Means we will manage the log collector Panorama with the help of Panorama, which we are running in either Panorama mode or either we are running in a management only mode. But if like, tell me one thing, guys. I have one Panorama and I also have a few Panoramas, like I have around 20 Panoramas, which I'm running as a log collector mode. As a log collector mode, these are the dedicated log collectors. So do I need to run this Panorama? Which mode you will in which mode I can run this Panorama? In Panorama mode or a management only mode? In this case, here I have a dedicated Panoramas which I'm running as a dedicated log collector. In that case, guys, we will run the Panorama in management only mode. Okay, we don't need to run the Panorama in panoramic mode. Okay, so this is the thing. A small thing, guys, make you perfect. CLI access of your M series appliance in log collector mode is necessary only for the initial setup and debugging. Starting from PanOS version 8.1 onwards, Panorama VM can be run as a dedicated log collector as the M series appliance can run. No web UI, only CLI access we will get. For Panorama, we are running in log collector mode. Configuration can be done locally via CLI or we can manage via Panorama. Supports high logging rate than Panorama mode. Minimum resource requirement, RAM is 16 GB, CPU you need around 8 core of CPU, cloning disk 81 GB and storage is 2 TB.